to come out on top.
All right, but with that being said, that'll do it for our interview here. Once again, Coach Richmond, thanks for joining me. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Go Arabians.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. We are underway here. Kickoff happened. Pendleton Heights will start off with the ball as Isaac Wilson and company enters the field for the first time this season.
Ready to see what the Arabians can do on their first drive of offense, as Dawson said, to start off the season.
And you can quickly take a look at this Pendleton Heights starting offense. You got Bo Surface, Nick Trout. Those guys are going to be circulating as those central running backs. Reese Reddington, Caden Sims, 2 star wide receivers we'll be seeing a lot of. And you got that offensive line, Luke Graham, Reese Schnepp, Jacob McKinley, Peyton Pollock, and Gabe Martin.
Something to mention for the Arabians, starting tonight is Isaac Wilson, but last year against Lebanon, Colton Frank saw most of the playing time at the quarterback position. So maybe we'll see if Lebanon can adjust to Isaac Wilson.
Handoff here is going to be Bo Surface on the carry. He's going to get a solid one on first down, a 3-yard carry. Setting up Pendleton Heights for the second and about 7.
Puts them at about the 35-yard line on their side of the field.
And Bo Surface last year only had 6 carries, 6 yards. Didn't see much of him. It looks like last year, you just look back, he was definitely trying to find his identity when it comes to that football position. He played some linebacker, and he still does, as well as looking around at other offensive spots. But it looks like he sealed himself again as hopefully one of these central running backs this season.
And standing at 6 foot, I mean, you might say he's a little bit tall for the running back position, but maybe he can use that to his advantage.
Isaac Wilson once again shotgun, Bo Surface behind him. Read option here for Isaac. He puts himself. He's breaking free. Cross midfield, and he's going to be tackled just about at that 40-yard line. And just like that, Pendleton Heights entering Tiger territory for the first time this evening.
Yeah, it looked like he handed it off to Bo Surface right there on that play, but as soon as I look up, I see Isaac Wilson striding down the field, getting himself to the opposing 40-yard line.
Yeah, wonderful job there by Isaac Wilson to concealing that football, keeping it himself and getting downfield. We know that he can be such an elusive player. Looks like Isaac Wilson will actually take a spot on the bench as Colton Frank, the junior, will enter the game. As you were just mentioning, Aiden, Colton Frank last year saw a lot of time against this same Lebanon Tigers team. A high snap firing over Colton Frank's head. He's going to have to jump on it. He doesn't quite get on the football. Ref comes in. Lebanon says they have it. Pendleton Heights defense coming out, and it looks like that might just be the Tigers football.
I mean, what a way to start the game. Definitely an unfortunate start.
Yeah, and that will be a fumble. Unfortunate, as you just said. Jacob McKinley, the starting center, maybe just a bit of nerves. Again, that was a high snap, clear over the junior quarterback, Colton Frank's head. And with that, great job of the Tigers. Good hustle. Colton Frank had an opportunity to jump on it, but he just overshot the ball, landing just behind it. Tigers pounced on the opportunity. Just like that, this Tigers offense will take the field.
I mean, yeah, he could have saved it right there about on the 30A, but as you said, he just went for it and slipped right over it, ended up in the Tigers' possession.
Jackson Folden, the junior quarterback for Lebanon, will take the field now. Brendan Shockley behind him. Folden will look to throw, fires over there to his right side of the field. Looks like he will connect to his receiver for a short gain on the curl route.
And Jackson Folden, he's also new stepping in there at the quarterback position. Last year, the Tigers quarterback did graduate, so he takes the spot for him this year.
That was Trey Reese, the senior on the reception. Last year, Reese had 15 receptions, 223 receiving yards. He's 6'3", 185, a perfect receiver builds in many eyes, so gonna have to watch out for him along with the other Tiger receivers. Handoff here to Shockley, and he's going to get stuffed. What a nice job there by Dresden Roberts for the Arabians on that play, throwing Shockley back for, looks like no gain, 3rd and long.
Tried to push that run up right there to the middle, but Dawson, you did say the defensive line for your Arabians just stuffed them.
0-0 here, currently in the first quarter. 9 minutes, 40 to go in the first quarter. Lebanon Tigers with the football here on 3rd and long, 39 to be specific. Arabians fans getting on their feet, trying to make some noise. Folden, shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to his left, 2 to his right. with the running back behind him. He'll keep it himself, looks to throw, fires over the middle, and it's picked off. Picked off by Clint Miller, and he's taking it back. He's at midfield, and he gets ankle tackled by the quarterback, but Pendleton Heights getting that football right back with a pick, and Isaac Wilson and company taking the field once more.
Definitely some energy to start off this game. We've already seen 2 takeaways, 1 for each team, but the Arabians are back on the field near the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and you can just tell here a lot of nerves. You look at Jackson Folden, the quarterback that just threw the pick. He's only a junior, had a single attempt last year. He hasn't seen the field much at all. You could argue that was, he's only had 1 attempt. Now he's up to 3. He just had 2 on that drive. So that interception, I would say, is not totally unexpected. We see that a lot with these new quarterbacks, especially in a high-pressure situation like a 3rd and long.
Definitely not what he wants to see, though, Dawson, as you're saying. His first drive, basically for this varsity team, and he just turns the ball right back over.
All right, but once more, looks like Colton Frank will be taking the field for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Jacob McKinley will stay in the game. Again, he just had that high snap that resulted in the turnover, but Coach Richmond looks like he'll keep him in. Nate Durolf in motion. They'll pitch it to him. Durolf has some blockers, but he'll get wrapped up and thrown down here. About a 5-yard carry. He's down at the 45, so now 2nd and about 5 coming up. We do have a flag on the play.
Looks like there was a lot of, scuffle on that left side.
And it looks like that will be on the Pendleton Heights Arabians. You can tell that offense just walking back. Looks like that actually might just redo that play even. Yeah, so that will be a holding there. So redo 1st down here. Going to take him back 5 yards. 1st and 15.
And the Arabians standing right there, midfield, right on the 45.
Isaac Wilson going to enter back into the game. He's in shotgun as trips out to his right with Bo Surface there to his right as well.
We see 2 safeties back for Lebanon.
Wilson will keep it himself once more, and he's going to fumble the football, and we might have another turnover on our hands. And sure enough, Lebanon Tigers get the ball right back. Another fumble on the play. That's the 2nd for the Arabians. This time, it was Isaac Wilson on the quarterback keeper. That ball just poked out. Just like that, Tigers taking the field. That's 3 turnovers we've seen already in a span of only 6 minutes. 2 on Pendleton Heights, 1 on Lebanon, and we stand still at 0-0 here, 9 minutes left in the 1st.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in the 1st quarter, not even halfway through. It's definitely not something we were expecting to see, but it's also was likely to happen, as Dawson, you said it is the 1st game of the season.
Folden here will hand off to the senior Mason Crew. Crew up the middle for just about a yard gain. Bringing up 2nd and 9. You look at Crew, didn't see much time at all last season, entering in his senior year, but he's a big guy, 5'10", 205. Listed as a wide receiver, but of course at that size, I'm sure he will get some carries on some special plays or 2. But once again, Folden shotgun with Shockley behind him. Man in motion. That's looks like Caden Lark over here to this side of the field, so trips out to the left. Split screen over here to Caden Lark. Lark makes a man miss, but his ankle tackled there just around the 45. Bringing up 3rd and about 6 here.
Yeah, we did see him motion over to the left side of the line. Even saw the safety come up. Ended up being a screen for Lark as he gained about 6 or so yards.
That was Nick Trout with the tackle there, and once more, Pendleton Heights making some noise here on 3rd down, trying to get in Folden's head. Folden and the Lebanon Tigers offense taking formation. He'll be in shotgun. 2 wide receivers out to the right, 1 near side to the left with a running back behind him. Folden looks to throw, fires over the middle, once again incomplete. So just like that, that'll bring up 4th down. Tigers have a decision to make here. Folden was heading towards the sideline, but it looks like they're going to come back out here. They'll go for it at 4th down, and I don't think I hate the call. It's 4th and 6th, and on top of that, you're pretty around that midfield area, so scratch that. It will be a punt. Jackson Folden, the quarterback, a little bit of trickery there. No punt returner, but Fortunately for Pendleton Heights, that ball will just roll into the back of the end zone. So touch back. Pendleton Heights start on the 20 as Isaac Wilson takes the field. Of course, we were just mentioning there, Aiden, back-to-back turnovers for Pendleton Heights on their first 2 drives, both of them coming from fumbles. The first, the high snap. The second, Isaac Wilson just lost that ball out of his grip. So I think the number one goal here on this drive for Pendleton Heights is not give up the ball, and especially here, deep in your own territory for really the first time tonight.
I mean, yeah, we've seen a lot of mistakes early in this game. We just saw the quarterback for the Tigers just throw the ball right over the middle, expecting the receiver to catch it, so maybe we do have some nerves. But then again, the first game is what you learn the most from.
Wilson shotgun, trips out to the left, one wide receiver to the right. He'll look to throw, scrambles out, but he'll just throw that ball out of bounds. Didn't see any receivers, but that does look like this smart move, getting rid of that one. The scratch that was actually Colton Frank in as quarterback on that play there. 0-0 is our scores, 7:18 left to play here in the first.
And as I said in the pregame, Colton Frank saw most of the field, or excuse me, most of the time at that quarterback position last year against Lebanon. So maybe you think they would put him in just because he's more aware of their defense schemes?
Yeah, it looks like now Isaac Wilson will be in the game here. Both surface to the left of him. 2 wide receivers out left, 1 out right. Wilson will keep it to the left side, and he'll get wrapped up, brought down after it looks like nothing to show for it. 3rd and very long. 3rd and 10. So that didn't move the line of scrimmage much at all on that play there. So brings up 3rd down, Pendleton Heights, and deep in your own territory. If you don't convert here, you surely got to punt.
Yeah, the defense for Lebanon just swarmed him, rushed in from the right side, and Isaac Wilson had nowhere to go, just went down at the line of scrimmage.
Wilson will stay in as the quarterback. He's in shotgun. 2 wide receivers on both sides of him. He'll look over there past the first down marker, but no wide receiver inside as that ball skids across the turf into the Lebanon bench. So that'll bring up 4th down, and sure enough, here comes the punting unit for the Pendleton Heights Arabians, led by Wes Kupfer, or the new punter last year for Pendleton Heights. It was Justin Beeler, but after he graduated, the now senior Wes Kupfer stepped up. So this will be his first varsity punt. And we've seen him in practice. He definitely looks pretty good. He can knock them pretty deep. See how he does. Looks like this one will be a bit of a low kick, but luckily he did get a good bounce on it. Looks like that will just roll out of bounds just behind the 40-yard line. Tiger territory. So once again, the Lebanon Tigers will take the field here.
Definitely a smart move to kick it there, as you were deep in your own territory, only on about the 20-yard line. With the 4th down coming up, it would be the smart move to kick it back to Lebanon.
Still no points on the board here. 6 minutes, 27 left to go in the first quarter. 0-0. To look back, really just recapping this Tigers offense so far. That first drive, it was picked off by Clint Miller. And then that second drive, they went for it on 4th and 6 from just inside Arabian territory. Didn't get through with that completion. Or scratch that, they did punt it. So they punted it there on that last drive. And then Pendleton Heights, of course, just punted it back. So here comes Folden and company taking the field. Get a handoff here from Shockley to the right side. He'll be wrapped up, brought down pretty quickly there. Looks like big gain of no yards, so remains now 2nd and 10.
Definitely very little action so far in this game, but as it is the season debut, you wonder if they have all their plays down, or maybe they're just experimenting with some that they still have questions about.
But here, Friday Night Lights kicking on. Student section for Pendleton Heights pretty much filled out. It's a wine night, wine theme. So the students coming out showing their support.
Definitely a lot of people.
Yeah. We're pretty much not only student section filled out, but entire Arabian bleachers. Jackson Folden shotgun. Hands it off here to Shockley. Shockley has a hole up the middle. He's staying on his feet. Tiptoeing all the way down just past the 40-yard line as he breaks into Arabian territory on a very good 2nd-yard carry there, moving the chains.
Looks like he got wrapped up near the 50-yard line, but broke 2 Arabian tackles to make it all the way near the 40.
That's enough for the Lebanon first down, 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now. Fulton receiving the play. Coming back out. Now the Tigers taking formation. Fulton will remain in shotgun. Trips out left. Shockley will stay in behind him.
5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score yet, but it is a slow starting game, as you would expect.
Pitch here to the left. Shockley tries to dig into the turf, swing back the other way, but the Arabians were there to meet him for a tackle for loss. It's a loss of about 2 yards there. Brings up 2nd and very long.
Looks like he did change up the direction of that run. He was planning to go left, but somebody did step in front of him, so he kind of had to maneuver around him.
That was Eli Arthur with the TFL there for Pendleton Heights. Eli last year had a great season, led the team in sacks. And on top of that, heading into his senior year, looking for a very outstanding season from him.
2 receivers on the right side for Lebanon, and then we do have Caden Lark here on the left side.
Fulton shotgun. He's going to hand it off here once more. Shockley will stumble his way. About 5 yards there. Brings up 3rd and long. 3rd and 7, to be specific here. That was Nolan Souders with the wrap-up tackle. Souders, another defender there for Pendleton Heights to be aware of. Souders had 5 interceptions last year. Landed himself a all-conference spot. Shotgun once more for Fulton. 2 wide receivers on both sides. Looks like we got a flag on the play. Refs will call it off. Looks like there will be a false start there from the Tigers. So, just like that, this 3rd down will get just a bit tougher for Lebanon. Bringing back the stick.
And that'll move them back. They have 12 yards to go here on 3rd down. Definitely not what they wanted to see there on that play.
If you're just tuning in, score as of now 0-0. 3 minutes 41 to play in the first. Lebanon Tigers currently with the football, but with a tough situation right now. 3rd and 12.
But just some stats for each team. The leading receiver for Lebanon, Caden Lark, over his varsity career, he does have 67 receptions and a total of 1,056 receiving yards. But for Pendleton's defense, Eli Arthur has a total of 49 tackles, and tackles for loss, he does have 12 of those, along with 1 interception.
We got a timeout here from Lebanon, so we'll take a quick break here on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Bring our music and Arabian sports everywhere you go by downloading our new app on your phone. It's called 91.7 WEEM. Whether you are on a run, in your car, or at work, you can listen to us live. Go to the App Store today and download our app on your Android or iPhone for free. Listen today here on 91.7 WEEM.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on this cool Friday evening. If you're just tuning in, our current score, 0-0 here, 3 minutes 39 left to play in the first game of the season. Looks like we'll get yet another false start here on the Tigers that'll push back this 3rd down even further, now 3rd and 17, but maybe that false start was for the better because that snap, similar to what happened to the Arabians on that first drive, flew right over the head of Jackson Fulton, and say that play wasn't blown off, that we could be looking at a 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 25 or so. So although you're going to get pushed back even further, again, might not be the worst outcome from that play there. But Fulton shotgun here, trips out right. Got a receiver closest to us to the left. That's Trey Reese with Shockley behind him. He'll look to throw here on third. Fires deep down the right side. It's up in the air, and it is caught there. And that is the star receiver, Caden Lark. Beautiful throw by Jackson Fulton. Put that ball right on the money. And just like that, the first big play we've really seen here this evening will put the Tigers now deep into Arabian territory at the 15.
As I was just mentioning, he definitely is that number one receiver for the Tigers, and we saw it right there as he adds a couple more yards onto his varsity career receiving yards.
Yeah, and that Arabian safety there just undershot it a bit. Undershot the ball, and then Caden Lark, it wasn't really a contested catch. He just jumped up and grabbed that one pretty easily. Handoff here to Shockley up the middle once more. This will be a solid carry of about 5 yards, bringing up the 2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Puts the Tigers in good scoring position as it's only 2nd down, and they are on the Arabians' 10-yard line.
Yeah, Pendleton Heights, this is when your defense got a tough down. And hopefully hold these Lebanon Tigers here, and a turnover is definitely not out of the picture, especially with a new quarterback like Jackson Fulton.
Yeah, but as the Tigers are in the red zone, usually in this situation we do see defenses play man. We'll see what their coverage is here, but I wouldn't expect anything else but that.
Jackson Fulton shotgun, hands it off here to Shockley left side. He'll get wrapped up, brought down pretty quickly. Just a gain of about 2 yards or so brings up the 3rd and short. It's going to be counted as a 3-yard carry, so bringing up the 3rd and 3.
They either have to score here on this play or kick a field goal, as there's no more opportunity to get a first down.
Have it, of course, for the Tigers. Seeing a lot of runs so far from Shockley. Wouldn't surprise me if they go for it again here. Fulton shotgun. Looks like they will get a carry, but instead it's going to go to Mason Crew, and he will get hit back very, very deep. That was Shockley, excuse me. They faked it to Crew, gave it to Shockley, and a great job by the Arabian defensive line driving Shockley back for a loss. If it looks like 3 yards, brings up 4th and 6. And here, a huge test, as it looks like this offensive unit isn't rushing off the field, so we might be looking for a 4th down try here from the Lebanon Tigers.
Going for it right here wouldn't be a bad decision really for Lebanon, as if they don't complete this, the Arabians will start off near their 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, there is that side of it, but then again, I mean, in a low-scoring game like this, you can take any points you can get, so I don't know. This could be a costly mistake if they don't convert here. Foldley will look to throw, and it looks like that might have been picked off. Either way, that's going to be Arabian football. Whether it was an incompletion or a pick, Pendleton Heights offense will take the field. You almost hope it was an incompletion, because if he did catch that ball, that would have been, they'll be down on maybe the 1-yard line, and it looks like they will call it an incompletion. So just like that, Pendleton Heights will take the field here. 1st and 10 on their own 11-yard line. It's yet another turnover, this time turnover on downs.
It did look like that ball rolled out of the defender's hands right there, but Dawson, as you were saying, they are starting near their end zone.
All right, but Isaac Wilson will start in here for Pendleton Heights. Shotgun. He'll keep it himself to the left, cuts back, middle of the field, weaving through defenders, staying on his feet as he'll get rolled down there. A lot of effort there, but only really for a 2-yard carry or so. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Got wrapped up right there in the middle of Lebanon's defensive line. And as we've seen a lot of running plays here, but something to mention, last year, the Arabians only had 3 receivers to get over 1 catch against the Lebanon Tigers.
Under 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Score still 0-0. Pendleton Heights with a football on their own 13-yard line. 2nd and 8. Isaac Wilson shotgun. He looks to throw here. Hits his man on a quick slant, and he'll be down. And it looks like for a 1st down, Isaac Wilson with his first completion of the night. That'll go to Caden Sims, the senior. Sims last year, 257 yards, but the year before that, his sophomore year, led the team in receiving with just under 700 yards, had a phenomenal year. And of course, his junior year, maybe not as good, but still very, very crucial. And that's a guy that I'm excited to see this year. But with that, we're going to get a timeout here. So we'll take a quick.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Welcome you back here to John Broughton Field. Score after the first quarter, Pendleton Knights 0, Lebanon Tigers 0. Pendleton Knights currently with the football on their own 26-yard line here. They'll flip the field, so now they'll be attacking to the left of us. But of course, so far for Pendleton Heights, the offense has struggled a bit. We've seen already 2 turnovers from them, both of them coming off fumbles, and then we saw a punt on their 3rd drive. So here on their 4th, it looks like you're getting something going after a carry or 2 and then a solid pass to get a first down. Pendleton Heights will look here on this 1st and 10 with Isaac Wilson shotgun. Nate DeRoff will be the man in motion to the right. Wilson will keep it himself, driving upfield. He'll be tackled there on a very solid carry on 1st down. It'll be counted as about a 7-yard carry there, bringing up the 2nd and 3.
But mentioning the turnovers, last year, Lebanon themselves did have 3 against us in the season opener, so it's definitely something that is kind of consistent with both of these teams.
And of course, last year you're mentioning these 2 teams faced it off over at Lebanon High School. The Tigers won that one 26-12. So Pendleton Heights, of course, will be looking for a better outcome here this evening here at home. And so far, it's not out of the range of possibilities. Of course, it's been a very defensive matchup, so just one good drive could really get this offense going and exactly what this offense needs. Isaac Wilson, play action, fires as he's hit, and it'll be complete. A nice throw there from Isaac Wilson. I mean, you can't get hit while you throw pretty much more than that. Still completed the pass on a nice lob.
Yeah, threw it over to the receiver, leaping on the right side. Looks like he did slip and stepped out as he caught it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it looks like that was just out of bounds there. He caught it on the sidelines. Looks like it was in the range, but unfortunately, Caleb Day just couldn't wrap that one in. That was Caleb Day, the tight end on the target. So Pendleton Heights, that would have been big for him, but here on 3rd and 3, you have a chance to make up for yourself.
Yeah, we'll bring them back, but with that big gain that Isaac Wilson rushing up the field, it's not too short of a completion needed to convert here.
Isaac Wilson will fake the carry, keep it himself, and he'll get thrown backwards. The Tigers defense was all over that, read it like a book, and with that brings up the 4th and very long. Pendleton Heights will send out Wes Kupfer in the punting unit once again to punt this ball away.
Looks like both teams here tonight have been stopping the run very well.
Wes Kupfer, his first punt was a bit of a low one. Did have a nice bounce to it, so he did get it down the field, but looking for a better one, I'm sure. This one kind of short as well, but once again gets the good bounce. It looks like this will be received here by Caden Lark, and Lark is going backwards on this one. Pendleton Heights all over on that one. And just like that, I mean, he probably first touched that ball at the 35-yard line, and Pendleton Heights took him all the way back to the 25.
Yeah, definitely a little bit better kick at least there for Wes Kupfer. It did have more air time, less bounce on the ground, but looked about the same distance.
So once again here, Jackson Folden and the Tigers offense taking the field. Now, one interesting thing you'll look at on this Tigers offense, their offensive line not crazy oversized, especially that right guard, Jacob Ranney, only 5'10", 185. And you also on that other guard spot, 5'11", 265, which is nowhere near as small, but this offensive line is definitely, I wouldn't say it's a big one. Handoff here to Shockley on first down, and he is going to go nowhere. Looks like he will go backwards there, a loss of 2 yards on first. Brings up the 2nd and 12 for the Tigers.
Yeah, definitely a defensive battle starting off early in this game for both teams.
Eli Arthur was there for yet another tackle for loss. That's his 2nd on the night. Eli Arthur so far having himself an evening. I mentioned him earlier, had 6 sacks on the year last season, led the team. With that, we'll pause 10 seconds for station legal identification here on 91.7 WEEM.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studios, underwritten by Community Hospital Anderson, this is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM Pendleton.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
Welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. Score, if you're just tuning in, 0-0 here. 9:30 left to play in the first half. Tigers currently with possession on their own 15. They're on 2nd and 12. They had a chance to get a play in, but it was called off yet again on a false start penalty. So they'll be pushed back now to the 2nd and 17.
Definitely not the ideal starting position here for Lebanon. The kick to start off pushed them all the way back near the 15, and with that flag, puts them even further back in their own part of the field.
Handoff here to Shockley once again. A solid hole will give him a very solid carry there on 2nd. Sets up the 3rd and not horribly long. It looks like about a 3rd and 7. That was Clint Miller and Wes Kupfer, the 2 safeties for Pendletonites on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 6 here on their own 21.
And Lebanon taking unusually long in their huddle. Looks like they're drawing up a pretty decent play, hopefully to convert them back to first down.
So 3rd and 6 now. Folded once again, shotgun. Got 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left, running back to the right of him. He'll scramble out there to the right side, looks to throw, fires over the middle, and that is incomplete. Solid job there on Arabian coverage. Didn't let anyone get too open, and with that, that'll be forced incompletion there. Wes Kupfer with a very nice play. Brings up 4th down here, and it wouldn't surprise me if these Lebanon Tigers go for it. I mean, they've been going for it, I guess, only once this evening, but it looks like they are going to make a couple substitutions. And on top of that, Clint Miller will go back to return the punt.
Yeah, we saw that safety for the Arabians on the right side facing Lebanon. Just saw that receiver and made sure that he didn't catch that there on 3rd down.
Caden Lark, the punter for the Tigers. Looks like we will get a timeout here, so we'll take a quick timeout with them. 0-0, 8 minutes, 14 left to go in the first half. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
On Facebook and Twitter, or at DetourSalonStyle.com. Detour Salon Style 816.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in, current score, Lebanon Tigers 0, Pendleton Heights 0 here. 8 minutes, 11 to play in the first half. punt here from the Tigers. Clint Miller will receive it on the 45 and get a solid return there of about 10 yards. So Pendleton Heights will start here. It looks like just shy of the 35-yard line, the Tigers' 35-yard line. So Pendleton Heights will start here in Tiger territory with a huge chance to get a good drive going.
Yeah, we saw him catch that punt there on the 50-yard line. And as a Lebanon defensive player tried to tackle him there, he just shrugged him off. Got about 5 more yards after that break of the tackle.
And Clint Miller last year averaged a very solid 2.2 average. Of course, that doesn't seem insanely high, but you got to remember with the high school punts, they're going to be definitely weaker, and with that, the punt team will get down the field much quicker. Pendleton Heights will be a handoff here on first down. This ball will go to Keaton Jones, the junior there. Jones will get about of a 3-yard carry there on first, brings up the 2nd and 8. Now Keaton Jones, looking at him, his main attribute is speed. I was watching some film of the couple scrimmages Pendleton Heights had earlier in the offseason, and man, Keaton Jones, it was just some of those plays. It was almost, I had to watch a couple times because he is fast.
Yeah, he is the reserve at the running back spot for Bo Surface, and he's actually on the basketball team for Pendleton as well, so multi-sport athlete right there in your running back.
Wilson will keep it himself here out to the left side, spinning out of tackles, and he's brought down hard. Pendleton Heights fans want a penalty there, but they won't get it. But nevertheless, a great carry there from Isaac Wilson. Brings up the 3rd and very short 3rd and 1. And although it has been working for Pendleton Heights every single time, that QB keeper, Isaac Wilson, is just so good at faking out the defenses.
Yeah, Pendleton here on their 30-yard line. Dawson, as you were saying, 3rd and 1, only 1 yard to convert to another first down.
Wilson shotgun has one receiver to his left, one to his right. Look at the ball here to the big back, Dresden Roberts, and Roberts up the middle there for the first down.
Yeah, it looks like he just pushed that one right through the middle, got enough yards that he needed, and just went down.
Yeah, Dresden Roberts, I was just mentioning, you want to talk about a big back, 5'11", 195. Might not seem like the craziest player profile when it comes to size, but trust me, he can be a very powerful back, and definitely proved it on that last play there, pushing through defenders, getting himself the first down. Arabians now shotgun. Isaac Wilson will look to throw, fires to the end zone. It's up for a catch, no completion. Arabian fans really want a flag on that play, as Caden Lark was all wrapped up in that, and it looks like that was Caden Sims, the target. But incomplete, no flag, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you saw both the receiver and the defender go up for that ball on the left side of the end zone.
Yeah, and I think the reason Pendleton Heights fans were so upset, Caden Lark didn't really turn his head to look for that football. Instead, just kind of put his hands up and drove into Caden Sims, but the refs make the final decision, and with that, Pendleton Heights will stay here on their Tigers' 26-yard line. 2nd and 10. We'll get the timeout from Pendleton Heights, so we'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
In football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM score. As of now, Pendleton Heights 0, Lebanon Tigers 0. 6 minutes, 19 to play here in the first half. Taking a quick look at the weather here. Currently 70 degrees, mostly sunny. Sunset will be around 8:35, and looks like the temperature will tip down just a couple degrees before the games end around that 10 o'clock, 9:30 time.
But just before the timeout, we did see quarterback Isaac Wilson target Caden Sims on a touchdown pass to the left side. Was incomplete and no flag thrown, as Caden Lark did seem to target the receiver there, but yet again, no flag.
2nd and 10 here. Looks like we'll get a handoff here to Bo Surface. And Bo Surface will weave his way through defenders for a very solid carry. It looks like he will be just shy of the first down marker, bringing up that 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 1 as Pendleton Heights hurry up here, wants to get a play in quickly, not let the Tigers defense get set. Richmond yelling from the sidelines. Isaac Wilson running 2 running backs on both sides of them, and yet another high snap, and they're fumbling the ball around. Bo Surface tried to jump on it. He couldn't quite do it, and yet another fumble by Pendleton Heights. A high snap once again, and just like that, Lebanon Tigers will take over, and a devastating momentum stopper for Pendleton Heights. You had a good drive going. You were deep in Tiger territory, but a high snap. And then after Bo Surface failed to jump on that football, Tigers got to it. And just like the Arabians' first drive, Tigers will take the field off of a bad snap from the Arabians.
Yeah, they were definitely in scoring position there, certainly in the red zone, and yet again, just another high snap, a fumble, and a turnover for the Arabians.
Fold-in shotgun here for the Tigers. Man in motion, that's Lark over there to the right side. It'll be a handoff here, and once again, the Arabians stuffing that up. As Aiden was mentioning earlier, this run defense this evening has been phenomenal on both teams, but, I mean, for Pendleton Heights, sure, they've given up a couple of carries, but with that, it looks like that'll be a gain of 0 yards, so 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10.
Definitely unfortunate for the Arabians, but we do see the Lebanon Tigers there on their 40-yard line. Run got stuffed up last possession.
And you see on the sideline for Pendleton Heights, Nate Walls practicing some snaps, so wouldn't surprise me at all if the next time the Arabians are offense, you see Nate Walls under center. Of course, for Jacob McKinley, the starting center for Pendleton Heights, that's going to be his 2nd high snap and 2nd, I guess you could say, turnover on his part. A run here by Shockley over there to the right side is going to be a very solid one at that. Looks like I might have jinxed the Arabians there. Was just mentioning that it was doing a great job this evening at stopping the run, but there's a great run from Shockley, giving the Tigers the 1st down, and on top of that, pushing them inside Arabian territory.
But for the center for the Arabians, Jacob McKinley, he is only a sophomore. Dawson, I'm not sure if he did start last year, but with young experience, that is something that you could expect there for Jacob McKinley.
Yeah, no, he did not start last year, so yeah, I would say that is a huge part of that. Just the nerves, again, you know, on a big stage like this, and one of the bigger at that, again, as we were mentioning, Pendleton Heights, their bleachers are pretty much filled out. Lebanon's pretty full, especially considering how far away they are. Got a screen here on the wide receiver on the left side, and they're breaking out. Caden Larger on the left sideline. He'll be pushed out of bounds, but not after a very, very good reception there on the screen. And that's what Caden Lark can do. He's a great receiver before the ball gets to him, but where he really stands out is after the catch and his speed, as Pendleton Heights just saw firsthand.
Yeah, Caden Lark, definitely the #1 receiver for Lebanon, as I was mentioning earlier. But with the quarterback change, you were wondering if he was going to get as many targets as he did last year, but he certainly is this game.
Yeah, Jackson Folden and Caden Lark, I'm sure, have been building a very, very strong connection over the offseason, as Lebanon has participated in several scrimmages similar to Pendleton Heights. But here now, 1st and 10 on the Arabians' 24. Folden shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his left, and yet another, looks like a false start here on the Tigers. This is going to be their 3rd false start. Excuse me, 4th. Yeah, 4th false start of the game so far, and it's not even halftime, so I'm sure that's going to be something that Tigers are really going to have to be fixing up in that locker room at halftime, is the communication from the quarterback and the offensive line, and really the rest of the offense.
Yeah, but that will push the Tigers back, which is fortunate for the Arabians. As we saw Caden Lark just a couple plays ago, he did have that big reception just stepping out near the 20-yard line, but now the Tigers are back towards the 30 even.
So now 1st and 15 for the Tigers, now on the Arabians' 29. Score currently 0-0, 4:40 left to play, and it looks like we'll get yet another timeout here, this time, or once again, for Pendleton Heights. So we'll take a quick break. As I was just mentioning, score 0-0, 4:40 left to play in the first half. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WE.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event. Really important, considering less than 7% of student athletes play sports in college and even fewer receive scholarships.
At Ivy Tech, thousands of high school students complete their freshman year of college or first industry credential, giving them a head start on college and careers.
We appreciate the support of partners like Ivy Tech who invest in our student athletes, their education, and our communities.
This is championing education. This is investing in your community. This is your IHSAA.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEN. Back to Arabian football.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in, current score 0-0 here. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first half. Tigers currently with the football on the Arabians' 29-yard line. They're on 1st and 15. Shockley got the carry up the middle, but once again, Arabians shut him down, so gain of 0 yards brings up the 2nd and 15. Folden shotgun, 2 wide receivers out to his right, 1 to his left with Shockley behind him.
Looks like he fakes that handoff to the running back.
Throws deep here, a flag on the play. It was incomplete, and this might just be a pass interference, and it looks like it might be as you're hearing the boos from the Pendleton Heights bleachers. As if that is a pass interference, that is devastating for Pendleton Heights and could give Lebanon a huge boost to get them into the end zone.
Yeah, even looks like the same thing we saw on our side of the ball when quarterback Isaac Wilson was targeting Caden Sims, did seem like the same type of coverage, but down here they did get a flag called.
So with that, it looks like that'll push the Tigers very far upfield now. Looks like they'll count it as first down here. Looks like we'll get another timeout, this time on Lebanon. So score remains 0-0. 3 minutes, 53 left to play. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in, current score, Lebanon Tigers 0, Pendleton Heights Arabians 0. Here, 3 minutes, 53 left to play in the first half. We're going to get a carry here on second down, straight up the middle, and with that, that'll move the sticks. Give Lebanon, I think they're just shy of the 1st and goal. He was tackled there, it looks like, on the 11-yard line. So now 1st and 10. Scratch that, that'll be on the Arabians' 12-yard line.
Yeah, the tackle made there by Peyton Pollock, the senior, for the Arabians.
So here now, big couple plays coming up for Pendleton Heights. They were Pendleton Heights defense was in a situation similar to this earlier in the game where Lebanon was deep in their territory, but after some very nice stops, they were eventually able to stop Lebanon on a 4th down attempt. So although Pendleton Heights is kind of pinned up against their own end zone here, I wouldn't count them out for a stop. Yet another timeout here, and I got to say, I think a lot of these timeouts are rooting from a lot of those false starts penalties. I'm sure that this coach is just not liking the communication he's seeing, but Once again, we'll take another break. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the first half. 0-0 our score on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM is a student-run radio station. We provide everything from programming, music, to live sports broadcasts and podcasts, but we can't do it without your support. Everything you donate goes to the students that operate 91.7 WEEM. Donate today at 917weem.org. Again, that's 917weem.org.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. Score 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the first half, 0-0. As Lebanon Tigers currently have possession of the football, 1st and 10 on the Pendleton Arabians' 12-yard line.
The Lebanon Tigers back again in the red zone. Last time we did see them have an incompletion and then give the ball back to Pendleton, but we'll see what they can do this time.
So here it looks like we're going to see Folden under center for the first time tonight. 2 running backs behind him as he'll play action here to the left side, fire for the corner of the end zone. Looks like he targeted Lark there. Jumped up high, but it looks like that was broken up on a very, very nice play on the Arabians' defense. Breaking up that pass, forcing the 2nd and 10.
Yeah, definitely a lot of targets for Caden Lark tonight. I mean, you would expect that as he is their leading receiver, but you wonder if they target him too much, if the Arabians' defense will adjust to that.
That was all-conference corner Nolan Souders with the breakup. As we were mentioning there in that pregame, huge matchup to watch out for Nolan Souders and Caden Lark, and that play was the perfect example of it. Caden Lark on a nice route, but Nolan Souders with a very, very nice breakup, preventing the touchdown. So now 2nd and 10. Once again, Tigers remaining on the Arabians' 12-yard line. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the first half. Score remains 0-0.
Yeah, but for Nolan Souders, he is first-team all-conference for defense.
Looks like we'll go down here. A sack by the Arabians. That was Peyton Pollock on the sack there, bringing down the junior Jackson Folden. Just like that, Tigers are met with a very long 3rd down, 3rd and 12. Pendleton Heights fans getting on their feet. This is a huge play for the Arabians.
I've seen some big tackles here tonight for Peyton Pollock. With the senior, you know he has the experience.
So Folden shotgun once again. A running back behind him. 2 wide receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Folden will look to throw. He's in trouble. Flag on the play. Throws as he's hit, and it's picked off by Pendleton Heights. Again, there is a flag, but say that's a holding or any possession on the Tigers, that will be Pendleton Heights football. And it looks like, sure enough, that was a penalty, a holding on the Tigers. So Pendleton Heights declines the penalty, and the offense will take the field. 2:06 left to play in the first half. A huge play for the Arabians, getting the ball back deep in their own territory.
And yet again, we hear senior Peyton Pollock's name. I'm not sure if he did intercept it or even tackle the quarterback there, but we've got a night here for Peyton Pollock.
Isaac Wilson and company taking the field once again. So far tonight, fortunately for the Arabians, it's been a night filled with turnovers. 3 fumbles recovered by Lebanon, as well as a turnover on downs earlier in the game. Looks like we're going to get a handoff here on 1st and 10 up the middle. That was Bo Surface on the carry. Looks like that'll get about a yard, so not much there, but a start. 2nd and 9. Now for Pendleton Heights.
But as I mentioned earlier, there was 3 turnovers for Lebanon themselves last year. No points scored off of those, and we haven't seen any points scored off turnovers tonight either.
Yeah, and something to mention here for the Lebanon Tigers defense, only 6 sacks on the season last year. They're definitely not a team that you're going to be blitzing a ton, but they do have a way with turnovers. Last year had 6 interceptions as well as 5 fumble recoveries, which isn't necessarily insane numbers, but that is definitely to show, and already here 3 this evening. Of course, you do have to mention 2 of those turnovers was more on Pendleton's fault. Of course, those 2 high snaps. Isaac Wilson will get it here. He'll keep it, moving over there to the right side of the field, but pile of bodies there will bring him down, but not after a very solid gain there on second, setting up a 3rd and about 5 here.
But for Lebanon, we do see their safeties out back coming in more towards the line, so maybe they are expecting the run here.
Now with under a minute to play here, clock running, Pendleton Heights doesn't look necessarily in a hurry to get anything off. They might just want to head to the locker rooms, but I mean, if you can get a couple more plays in here, take a couple shots maybe downfield without getting too much of a risk, you might want to be seeing that. But 3rd and 5 on the 14-yard line here. The Arabians' 14-yard line for Pendleton Heights. Wilson will hand it off here up the middle to Dresden Roberts. Roberts brought down by 4 white jerseys.
Dresden Roberts on the carry.
And with that, it looks like that'll do it for our first half. Clock ticking down. Score after first half. Pendleton Heights 0, Lebanon Tigers 0. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I got to sit down with the new Pendleton Heights basketball coach, Coach Joe Buck, for our halftime interview here on the Arabian Sports Network halftime show, 91.7 WEEM.
A valuable life lesson.
We can even see that in the first half. We saw a lot of runs, especially from the quarterback, and I think if Pendleton wants to succeed a little bit more in this game, maybe they should get their running back more involved, or even draw up plays for Isaac. I know he's a good runner and even led the HHC in rushing for a quarterback last year, so we know he's capable, but I think also part of the reason is, it's the first game, there's all those nerves, and I'm sure Coach Richmond talked about that during halftime. So just getting those nerves out, going into the second half, you got to make sure you go in strong, and the Arabians will start off on defense here, so I think we'll see it first on defense, but majority, I think we're going to see it on offense, all these improvements.
Yeah, and I think the Arabians really have always been a run-centralized, smash-mouth team, and a lot of the Hoosier heritage is, and I think that something that I want to see from the Arabians this season heading forward is definitely them airing it out a bit. I think Isaac Wilson's passing ability is very underrated. I wouldn't necessarily say underrated, but I think his running ability gets so much of the credit of a player as he is that I think the passing is slept on a bit. So I'd like to see the Arabians air it out, maybe not only for the rest of the season, but in the second half. But as you were mentioning, Arabians will start on defense. They'll kick it away. Dominic Apo will see the field for the first time this evening. Dominic Apo has been the starting kicker for Pendleton Heights all 3 seasons, and it looks like they're going to start with a short kick over there to that right side of the field. Looks like they were trying to maybe get the Lebanon Tigers off guard, but that will be bounced out of bounds there. So it looks like Tigers will start here in their own territory, but not deep in it. They'll start around that 40-yard line.
But something we have seen on defense for both teams this game is the safeties do play up a little bit in Dawson, as you were mentioning earlier. I mean, running in high school especially is more popular than, the major higher leagues. So that's just something that I did notice for defenses on both sides of the field.
The sun has set here on John Broughton Field, and Friday night lights are shining brighter than ever here. As 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Folden will be in shotgun. He'll hand it off to the running back up the middle, bit to the left. Looks like he'll get piled up and taken down just past that 45-yard line. So they'll count it as a 6-yard carry. So now 2nd and 4.
Starting off short, as you were saying, only 4 yards to go here to start off the second half. Yet again, seeing more running plays.
But if you're just tuning in, Pendleton Heights 0, Lebanon Tigers 0 here, just getting started here in the second half. Folden will be shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He'll hand it off once again up the middle here. Looks like running back for Lebanon Tigers will get tripped up. That was Shockley on the carry, and that'll be a gain of maybe just about a yard or 2, so brings up the 3rd and short. That was the defensive end, Eli Libler, on the tackle. So now 3rd and 3 for Pendleton Heights. Arabians fans getting on their feet.
Starting the second half, it's definitely where the energy comes in, especially being the first game. As I was saying, Coach Richmond definitely hyped his team up during halftime, getting all those nerves out.
Folden shotgun once again. 2 running backs on both sides of them. Looks like he will hand it off here to the left. And looks like that was Take Williamson on the carry, the junior, and he will be stacked up and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of just about a yard, bringing up 4th and 3 on the 46-yard line. And yet again, Tigers are met with the decision to make. Either you punt or you go for it.
Yeah, we saw a whole bunch of Arabian defenders just stuff that run right there in the middle, even going back, as you were saying.
4th and 4 here. Pendleton Heights, this would be a huge momentum shifter if they can get a stop here early in the second half. Folden steps back, and it looks like he will punt it away. We saw that in the first half. Almost like you want to fake out that defense, looking like you're going for it, but then Folden, the quarterback, just takes a couple steps back and punts it away. So with that, Pendleton Heights will take over here on the 17-yard line. A very solid punt from Folden. It really, first touchdown, really just in front of the 20-yard line, but with a nice bounce out of bounds. Pendleton Heights will start on the 17, so they got about 80 yards to go here to the end zone. But again, as you were mentioning, with the talking to, I'm sure, in halftime, I think we could be seeing a breakout drive here from the Arabians.
Yeah, the Arabians are starting quite near their end zone, but they could have even started shorter as the kickoff did happen. A Lebanon receiver caught the ball before it went out of bounds, preventing them from going back even further.
Handoff here on first down, and that's a block. He's got a hole. He's at midfield. That's Dresden Roberts down the field. He's going to get wrapped up and taken down, but not before a huge gain for Pendleton Heights. Dresden Roberts up the middle. What great blocks there from the Arabians.
Yeah, just as we were saying, definitely an energy half in the second half. We're expecting to see more, and we just saw that exactly right there on that huge run going from near the 15 all the way to the opposite 30.
Just exactly what Pendleton Heights needed here. A huge play there on the first play of the drive, let alone. So now 1st and 10 on the 26. Wilson shotgun. They'll hand it off here once again. This time running back will get stacked up and taken down after a gain of about a yard or two. That was, once again, the senior Bo Surface on the carry, gain of 2. 2nd and 8.
You could say definitely some anger there from Lebanon, pushing the running back just a few yards. But after that big run, we do have some momentum on the Arabian side.
So Isaac Wilson will stay in the game as the quarterback there. In that first half, we saw Colton Frank get in for a couple reps. But looks like here, just based on the second quarter and here in the start of the second half, looks like Isaac Wilson will be taking pretty much all the snaps here. Isaac Wilson hit as he threw. Looks like that was a low snap. We saw a couple of high snaps there in the first half, but this one low, and that gave enough time for the Lebanon Tigers defensive line. Levi Poland, the inside linebacker, got to him first, and although didn't bring down Isaac Wilson, did cause the inaccurate pass. So now 3rd and 8 after the incompletion. Ball remains on the Tigers' 24.
But after that huge run, bringing the Arabians to the opposite 30-yard line, you wonder if they'll just take the points here if necessary, especially with it being the second half. Now it's time to score.
Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Bo Surface to the left of him. Wilson looks like he wants to keep it himself. Scratch that. He'll throw, and a nice completion there off of a curl route to his receiver. That's Reese Reddington, the senior, to get his first reception of the season. Looks like that will be enough for the first down. So new set of downs for the Arabians. Ball now on the Tigers' 15.
Yeah, with Isaac Wilson seeing the rush coming from that defensive line, he did run outside the pocket to the left and even looked like he told the receiver to come in closer as he threw that ball.
Wilson once again shotgun. Bow Surface to the right. 2 wide receivers out right. And a receiver to our near side to the left. Here got a carry to the left side. Pendleton Heights to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. It's Bow Surface. The first touchdown of the year for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Bow Surface gets it done on the carry to the left. But it looks like we might have a yellow marker on the field if I'm seeing that correctly. Might have to cut the music, band, because this one might be coming back. As the Arabians offense is staying out here. Wouldn't surprise if this is a holding call, and sure enough, that will be a penalty there. So they'll take them back pretty far. That might have been a personal foul. They're taking them back really far. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a scuffle in between the lines.
Yeah, so now it's going to be 1st and 20 there. So yeah, that must have been something more than a holding. So now Pendleton Heights set up on the Tigers' 25-yard line. Not sure exactly what that penalty, who it came from, what it was, but Pendleton Heights, that's going to take off their first 6 off the board. Isaac Wilson will keep it here. Tries to get through some Tiger players, but he is once again wrapped up for a short carry. Looks like that'll be just about a 3 or 4 yard carry there by the quarterback, Isaac Wilson. Gain of 4, 2nd and 16 set up now on the 21.
We've seen him run a lot this game, and I know that he is kind of known for his running ability there at the quarterback position. Split right between the defensive line, up toward the middle for only 4 yards on that 2nd down.
Isaac Wilson, shotgun formation here. 2 wide receivers out left, 1 out right. Looks like he'll give it off to Dresden Roberts here up the middle to the right side. Roberts going to be tackled, but not after a very solid carry there. Looks like that'll be a carry of about 70 yards. Brings up the 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 to be exact on the Lebanon Tigers 21.
The Arabians did have a chance to score if it weren't for that flag being called. Very unfortunate for the Arabians, especially now that they're back at the 3 and almost 3 and 10.
Yeah, but that last touchdown that was called back, that was on the 3rd down, so maybe we could be seeing a similar situation here. Looks like there'll be another handoff. This one up the middle. Looks like there will be a flag on the play. That was Dresden Roberts. Not including the penalty. That was about 6-yard carry, though. Got tackled there on the 10-yard line. So we'll see who this is on. Pendleton Heights. If, say, this is on Lebanon, that would be a lifesaver. Of course, that would get them out of that 4th down situation, but it looks like that will be, sure enough, a personal foul. Face mask on the Tigers. So with that, Pendleton Heights automatic 1st down sets them up in very good field positioning here. First and goal. First and goal we've seen by either team so far this evening. Tigers have came close but haven't gotten it, so we'll see if Pendleton Heights can cash this in for a touchdown here on these next couple plays. Wilson, shotgun, keeps it himself to the right, juking his way through defenders, and it looks like he is down just shy of that end zone on the 1-yard line, if not the 1, the 2. Brings up 2nd and goal, very, very short.
But with that flag, they did get a fresh set of downs, luckily for the Arabians, and that puts them right in scoring position, Dawson, as you were saying, near the 1 or the 2-yard line.
And it will be on that 1-yard line, so Pendleton Heights now just 3 feet away from that end zone marker.
And with Isaac Wilson running the ball as much as he has, you wonder if he'll just sneak it in there to the end zone.
Looks like it'll be a handoff here from Dresden Roberts. Roberts up the middle. Looks like he will be stuffed up. I'm sure the Tigers saw that one coming as soon as they saw Roberts in the backfield. As we were mentioning earlier, he's definitely Pendleton Heights. He's their big back who's going to get it on those short gains. But fortunately, this time it was not enough. Looks like that'll be gain of no yards. So brings up 3rd and goal once again on the 1-yard line.
But on that 3rd and 9, just a couple plays ago, we did see them go to him as well, and he even got them 7 or so, more than half of the yards that they needed.
Shotgun here, Isaac Wilson. He'll keep it himself, it looks like, to the left, and it would have been a wide-open score for Isaac Wilson, but unfortunately, we got a penalty on the play, and I'm sure once again for Pendleton Heights, this one will be called back. Again, say that penalty flag wasn't thrown. If that false start wasn't called, then that would have been a easy walk-in touchdown for Isaac Wilson, but that will set them back now to about the 6-yard line, 3rd and goal. So just like that, Pendleton Heights, this drive here just came a lot tougher. Is this going to be an interesting test for the Arabians? 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Wilson, shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left with the running back beside him. Wilson will throw, slant across the middle, caught, touchdown. Pendleton Heights gets into the end zone for the first time, not only this evening, but for the first time on the season. Pendleton Heights gets the first 6 on the board, and just like that, that was Isaac Wilson to Caden Sims. As I was mentioning earlier, we saw that connection a ton. Caden Sims, sophomore and junior year, between Isaac Wilson and the wide receiver Caden Sims. And Pendleton Heights Spears just got a lot brighter. Dominic Apo for the extra point following the touchdown. Here's a snap. It is a fake. It's a fake here. Pendleton Heights wants to try something. They fire back in the end zone, and it's caught. Add on 2 more for the Arabians, because why not? A miracle of a throw there. That was Reese Reddington, the placeholder, who flicked outside. He was looking for a throw. Tigers read the fake pretty well. They were on him pretty much right away, but still, Reese Reddington made a throw under pressure to the back of the end zone, and it was complete. And I like the call. In a low-scoring matchup like this, sure, every point counts, but you might as well grab a couple, and I'm sure the Tigers weren't expecting it. 8-0 now. We'll take a quick break. Pendleton Knights with the lead, under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Bring our music and Arabian.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in, Pendleton Knights kicks us off on the scoreboard with the first score of the evening. Arabians now leading the Lebanon Tigers 8-0 after the touchdown from Caden Sims on the pass. Pendleton Knights went for 2 on the fake extra point, which is very an unusual tactic because, I mean, if you're going to go for 2, you might as well actually go for 2 instead of fake the PAT, but it worked for Pendleton Heights. Reese Reddington got it on the fake and then threw it to the back of the end zone, and it was caught, or I guess the front of the end zone. So just like that, Pendleton Heights jumping out to an 8-0 lead here with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, that throw on the fake field goal attempt was caught on the right side of the end zone. Looks like the thrower did even wobble a little bit, but shook that tackle off and threw it in for the extra 2 points.
So now 1st and 10 as the Lebanon Tigers will take the field, hoping to respond to that Pendleton Heights drive. Capped off with the touchdown. Folden shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right on our near side, and a running back behind him. That's Shockley. Looks like Folden will keep it himself on the play action. Throws as he runs, and he connects with his receiver, Trey Reese, the senior. Reese will make his way out of bounds, but not before a very solid gain of about 20-25 yards. New set of downs now in Arabian territory.
Yeah, that throw going all the way up the field, even to the opposite direction. He did get out of bounds near the 32-yard line. So that's where Lebanon will hike the ball.
So 1st and 10 now. Folden, shotgun. Same formation as that last play. 2 wide receivers out left, 1 out right. This time he'll give it off to his running back. Hit, gets out of it, and he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. There is a flag on the play. That was Shockley on the carry there. Looks like, let's see what this flag is.
He did break that first couple of defenders in the pocket, but got out to the right. Did scoot back a little bit, but with the flag, you never know. Could be at the same exact position, or could gain a yard or 2.
This looks like refs talking it over here, and that will be a holding, it looks like, on the Tigers. So with that, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studios, underwritten by Community Hospital Anderson, this is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM Pendleton.
1st and 20 now for the Tigers after the holding penalty there. Jackson Folden, shotgun, 2 wide receivers. Out left, he'll look to throw, doesn't see anyone, takes it himself up the middle, and a solid carry as he'll make his way out of bounds, embraces the contact, and with that, he'll get back inside of the 10-yard marker there. So now 2nd and 8 here for the Tigers.
On that gain for the Tigers, it was a long way to go, them being, 2nd and 20, but he saw the receiver, decent coverage, decided to take it for himself as he saw the open pocket near the right side of the offensive line.
And Fulton so far, a very solid drive here. Had a nice first play on the play action on the run. Hit his receiver, and then there on the improvised run scramble. Got a solid gain, so he'll look to throw here on second down. Fires over, and it is intercepted by Pendleton Heights, and they're taking it back the other way. Slides down. A flag is on the play. That was Dontrez Braxton, the senior corner, on the pick. But again, there is a flag, so we'll see what this one is. But it looked like that flag was a bit late. So hopefully for Pendleton Heights that doesn't affect it, but looks like it might. Refs talking it over a bit, but maybe not. Arabian defense heading for the sidelines. Looks like refs talking this thing over.
Does look like the ref was waving his arms, waving it off, but I'm not too sure, as both teams are meeting on their sidelines. Guess we'll see what happens here.
But 8-0 is our score. 3 minutes, 23 left to play here in this third quarter, and it looks like, sure enough, the Arabian offense will be taking the field. At least Isaac Wilson is in company, is coming on out, so I think this interception will count. Again, I'm not sure exactly. He's calling the penalty, and yeah, it looks like that was there. It was on Pendleton Heights, but it looks like it was after the interception. It might have been a block in the back. It's tough to see the refs' hand motions, but that might have been a block in the back, a hold after the pick. So, yeah, it was sure enough a block in the back. So the interception does count. So Pendleton Heights will start here. Follow his two flags. It'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So it looks like those two will wave each other's off. So Pendleton Heights ball here, 1st and 10 from their 25.
Yeah, it looks like the crowd's not too mad at those flags. I mean, first interception of the year, of the second half. Definitely some energy going throughout the crowd and the team itself.
Yeah, Dontrez, you look at him as a player last year. He didn't play football for Pendleton Heights, moved over to Anderson, but then came back this year, decided to hop into football, and of course with his first pick as an Arabian, gotta feel good for him. Gotta get a pitch here to the Arabians receiver, out to the left side. That was Isaac Wilson on the carry, A solid play there on first down, gonna be a gain about 5 yards, 4 yards. 2nd and 6 up next.
The Arabians are leading 8-0 with about 3 minutes left in this third quarter as well.
2nd and 5, looks like they'll change it here. So that was, sure enough, a gain of 5 yards. Of course, Isaac Wilson was the leading running man for Pendleton Heights in that first half. Had just under 50 yards on the ground, again, in those first 2 quarters, and looks like he'll continue here with that carry. We'll get a handoff here from the Arabians to the left side. Looks like that will go for about 3 yards there. Brings up the 3rd and short. That was Dresden Roberts on the carry there. So yeah, 3rd and 3 now from the 33-yard line.
Dresden Roberts tonight, we have seen a lot of run attempts from him. Dawson, as you were mentioning earlier, he is big for a running back, so definitely a power back type of thing.
Looks like we will take a quick break here. We got a timeout on the field. 8-0 is our score. 2 minutes, 18 to play in the third quarter on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEN.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. Score 8-0. Pendleton Heights with the lead with 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. We just got a false start there on Pendleton Heights on that 3rd and 3, so that'll push them back to a 3rd and 8, now on their own 27-yard line. So that this third down here just got quite a bit tougher for the Arabians, as Isaac Wilson will line up here, shotgun. He'll look to throw on third, fires there, has a wide open man to the left side of the field, and he is down. A solid reception there. That was Caden Sims, the receiver for Pendleton Heights, on the nice curl route. Again, there was not a single Tiger anywhere nearby him, so an easy completion. And with that, they'll get the first, and on top of it, cross into Tiger territory.
Yeah, and just before the snap, we did see junior Nate DeRolf, number 10, motion over from the right to the left side. And also in the similar position on that field earlier, we did see that big run that took the Arabians all the way to their first touchdown of the year.
1st and 10 now from the Tigers 49. Ball will go here to Bo Surface on the carry. Surface weaving his way through defenders. He'll be tackled there. Scratch that. That was Keaton Jones. Hard to tell the 9s from the 6s, but that will be a first down either way. So a very nice carry from the shifty man, Keaton Jones, the junior.
Yeah, we saw some speed. We saw some juke moves. He got himself an extra 5 or so yards just from those moves, breaking the defenders. We saw some emotion there after, too. Does seem pretty hyped up about that run.
Be sure to check out the PHHS daily announcements anytime on 917 WEEM.org or wherever podcasts can be found. Keep up to date with what's going on in and around Pendleton Heights High School with the PHHS daily announcements wherever podcasts can be found. But, of course, now we're just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. Pendleton Heights leading the Lebanon Tigers 8-0. But here, 1st and 10, you're on the Tigers 35. Of course, a score here would increase your chances to pull away with the win hugely. Of course, you're already up 8-0, and now with a huge opportunity to score. And on top of that, I mean, we're talking about there in that second half, Pendleton Heights, when they get going on offense, they get going. And sure enough, at least so far in this drive, they've been moving the ball pretty easily. So if they can keep on doing that, hopefully get in for another score here, and then have a good fourth quarter, they might have their first win here this evening. Isaac Wilson will fire deep downfield here on first, and it looks like that'll just be out of the reach of Caden Sims. Sims on the post route there, just barely out of reach, at least from our angle up here in the booth. So with that incompletion, it'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 from the 35.
Yeah, we've seen Caden Sims being targeted twice already near the end zone, so we know that Isaac Wilson is comfortable throwing to him, but Dawson, as you were saying, that ball was just a little bit too far to the right for Caden Sims to be able to catch it.
Pendleton Heights attacking here right to left. 2nd and 10, Isaac Wilson shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left with the running back beside him. That is Dresden Roberts. Roberts will get it on the carry here on 2nd down. Roberts is pretty quickly piled up, so that'll be counted as just about a 2-yard carry there on 2nd, brings up the 3rd and long.
But with just less than a minute left here in the third quarter, the Arabians are up 8. We saw that unexpected 2-point conversion earlier, and as they're getting closer to their end zone, you wonder if the Arabians can score here. Maybe that seals the game for them.
So now just under a minute to play here in this third quarter. Pendleton Heights hoping to get at least one more play in here before the quarter break. But Wilson once more will be in that shotgun. That's Bo Surface to the left of him. Wilson will keep it to himself. Will throw it here. It's a risky throw. A lot of Tigers in the area, but he made sure to put it in a spot that was unreachable for any Lebanon players. So that'll be incomplete in the process. So with that brings up 4th and 8, and you got to think, who are you going to be seeing here? Do you pass it? Do you go for it here on 4th, or do you maybe try the super long field goal? I know from the high school level, 33 yards is quite the feat, but I mean, you got Dominic Apo, and I have faith in Dom, but sure enough, it looks like Coach Richmond will settle with keeping that offense out there. And again, when you got this far on this drive, and considering how your offense has been playing here in this second half, I like the call. And again, a score here on this drive would be huge for Pendleton Heights.
Yeah, but Isaac Wilson is out here back on the field, and for 4th and 8.
Wilson throws deep. He's got a man, Nate DeRolf, but it's just out of range. He had the man if he put it in the right spot. Nate DeRolf was there on the streak route just along the left sideline, and here we got a flag thrown. wait a minute. Pendletonite's defense was coming off the field, but refs with a very, very late flag. This might be another unnecessary roughness.
Looked like a shoulder check that came from one of the Tigers there.
Yeah, something. I think I did see something after the play from a Lebanon Tiger that would signal unnecessary roughness, and sure enough, the ref is side, or at least pointing his hand to that Lebanon side of the field. So looks like we'll see what the call is. But if you're just tuning in, Pendletonites 8-0. 13.8 seconds to play in the third quarter. And it looks like, sure enough, this will be a personal foul on the Lebanon Tigers, so this will give Pendleton Heights a second chance here, this time even deeper in Tiger territory. They'll set up, it looks like, just around that 20-yard line, again, in Tiger territory, 1st and 10.
I mean, yeah, they did prevent them from scoring there, so, I mean, on 4th down, why would you even risk them going back?
Yeah, it looks like, scratch that, it will be the Arabians defense setting up here, so it looks like, yeah, sure enough, was no penalty on the play. It looks like there is just a bit of confusion on the field, but yeah, the Arabian defense will take the field, so looks like I got my hopes up there a bit too high, and Lebanon Tigers will take over on offense here, 1st and 10 from their own 18.
It looks like they will start a little bit further back than they should have, though.
Yeah, again, I'm not entirely sure if the penalty was just waved off entirely or was put on after the 4th down, after the play. But then again, if it was after the play, it should have counted as a 1st down. So my guess is it was just waved off, and maybe, I don't know. But nevertheless, Tigers taking over on offense. Folden and company taking the fields. Folden will be in shotgun. 2 wide receivers out left, 1 out right, with Shockley behind him.
Yeah, with Lebanon on offense, it does seem like that was just a warning, but
Folden will throw here, fires over across his body to the left side of the field. Targets Mason Crew. Excuse me. Scratch that, was not, that was Sam Keller, but that was Sam Ray on the pass breakup, so incompletion there brings up 2nd and 10. Now from the 18-yard line, or I guess still from the 18-yard line.
Yeah, great defense in the backfield there from the Arabians. He was trailing him on the left side of his hip and swatted that ball away before he could catch it.
You know, that is something Coach Richmond mentioned in that pregame interview, is this defensive back group that he's very pleased with so far this year, including Nolan Souter, Sam Ray, Wes Kupfer, Clinton Miller, Dontrez Braxton, who's technically isn't on the starters but still sees plenty of reps. Here we got a wide receiver screen to the left side. That's going to go to Lark. Lark is moving away through some bodies, and it looks like he's going to use that explosive speed to accelerate. They're just shy of the 1st down marker, it looks like, or maybe, yeah, sure enough, they will count it a 1st down. So new set of downs here for the Tigers. But before that, that'll do it for our third quarter. Pendleton Heights leading the Lebanon Tigers 8-0. We'll take a quick break. Don't you guys go anywhere. 4th quarter coming up next on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Investing in education-based athletics builds strong communities in a strong, successful Indiana.
That's because when we support education-based athletics, we're not only supporting Hoosier student-athletes, we're championing the next generation of doctors, CEOs, and engineers, not to mention future teachers, first responders, and civil servants. I'm Brian Lewis.
And I'm Chris Kaufman. We're both assistant commissioners of the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
High school sports are the training ground for our future community leaders, impact makers, and world changers.
When we invest in student athletes, we're teaching them the importance of serving others selflessly,
leading them to become engaged, compassionate citizens who pay it forward and continue building a positive future for Indiana and beyond.
Support the next generation of Hoosier difference makers by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is serving our community. This is strengthening our future. This is your IHSAA.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. Score after 3, Pendleton Heights leading the Lebanon Tigers 8-0 here as we get started in the fourth and final quarter. First play of the fourth quarter will be a carry here by the Tigers. A gain of about 6 yards there brings up 2nd and 4. But of course, Pendleton Heights so far on defense has done a very solid job, not only shutting out the Lebanon Tigers, not giving them a single point, but on top of that has forced 2 turnovers as well as 2 turnover on downs if you are counting those. But the ASN Coaches Show is every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Catch up with the latest around the Arabian football team with Coach Richmond and special guests. Replays of the broadcasts can be found on 917weem.org. Click Weem Podcasts. But now, 2nd and 4, shotgun formation for Fulden. 2 wide receivers out right, 1 out left. Going to hand it off here, but the play waved off before he can. Wouldn't surprise if this is another false start, and sure enough, it is. That was a huge problem for the Tigers there in that first half. A total of 4 false starts in the first half, and now with that one, adding up to 5 total on the game.
Yeah, definitely a lot of penalties seen so far in this whole game, but being the first game of the season, just to mention again, something that you would expect. But with the Arabians leading 8-0, you would say now is the time for the Tigers to score.
So 2nd and 9 after the false start. Fulden, shotgun, man in motion. That's Lark over right to left. Handed off here once again to the running back. This time it looks like that'll be a carry up at just about a yard. That was Ty Williamson, the junior. Liberler will get credited for the tackle and brings up the 3rd and long.
The Tigers being on their own 31-yard line. 3rd and long here. I would expect them to throw the ball. We see 2 safeties back here for Pendleton on the defensive side.
But now once again, shotgun for Fulden. Trips out left, 1 wide receiver to his right. Fulden gets it, looks to throw, fires over the middle, incomplete. Had a chance to catch it. The wide receiver, the target, had his hands on the football, but once again, a nice break up there. That was powered on the target, but Sam Ray was there to break it up, bring up the 4th and long. And here, you're on the 31-yard line. Already down by 8. I'm sure we'll be seeing a punt here unless you want. I think it's a bit too early to try anything drastic.
Yeah, but we've seen the Tigers line up acting like they were going to go for it and then end up punting the ball.
Yeah. But it looks like they will just straight up give the Arabians the go-ahead to get Clint Miller back there to receive it. This ball is punted away here. Clint will receive it on the 35. He has some room. Going to swing it around, reaches midfield, and reaches over midfield into Tiger territory. Looks like he'll be down just at the 49, maybe the 50. So just like that, Pendleton Heights back on offense here after a very solid defensive possession there. 8-0. Arabians with the lead, 10 minutes, 0-3 to play in the 4th as Isaac Wilson and company will take the field once again.
But yeah, for the Tigers, that was a great punt there by Caden Lark. Kicked it all the way to the opposing 35-yard line, but the Arabians do end up starting on their own 50.
Got a man in motion here. Looks like he will get the fake handoff. Instead, they'll give it up the middle to Bo Surface. It'll be a gain of just about a yard, if anything. With that brings up the 2nd. So now for Pendleton Heights, of course, you just zoom out here, look at the overall state. You're leading by 8 points here, now just under 10 minutes to play. I think clock control is in your consideration at this point. You want to wind down that clock as much as you can, but at the same time, I think you got to reach and at least try for that end zone with your best ability. Wilson fires to the right sideline. It's complete on yet another short route there. This time it's ran by the receiver. And Excuse me, that was actually Colton Frank on the pass. Sorry about that. That was Drake Stevens on the receptions. So, yeah, Colton Frank got in for the play there, but it looks like Isaac Wilson will be back out. And yeah, you mentioned Drake Stevens. You look on him. Last year, he transferred in from Shelbyville. He was technically on the team, but due to some transfer rules, he wasn't allowed to play. And Drake Stevens, he's definitely a guy you can really put anywhere. Pendleton Heights tried a bit of him at the running back position, also at that quarterback position, and then, of course, wide receiver as he just got that last catch.
But yeah,
Nate Rolfe will get it here on the jet sweep out to the left. Looks like he'll be taken down. Once again, a very short carry of just about a yard.
He did motion over from that right side of the line back over to the left, but on the previous play, Drake Stevens did point over to the sideline before that snap did happen, almost knowing that he was going to get that catch, and as he did, to get the first down.
2nd and 9 now. Ball at the 37. The Tigers 37. Isaac Wilson will take formation with his offense. He's got 2 wide receivers out left, 1 wide receiver to the right, closest to us. That's Caden Sims, as well as a running back next to him. Man in motion here. He'll hand it off up the middle. Looks like yet another short gain of about a yard or 2 for Pendleton Heights. That time it was Dresden Roberts. He'll be credited for just about, again, a 3-yard carry this time, so brings up the 3rd and 6.
We've seen him get some good carries here in this game. Not very long runs, but definitely consistent ones.
So now just under 8 minutes to play here in this evening's game. 8-0, Pendleton Heights lead as the ball will go here. Now to the running back. This time Bo Surface once again will get it. Not enough for the first. So bringing up the 4th and short, just about 4th and 4.
Brings up 4th down, Pendleton Heights.
So Pendleton Heights, it's going to be a tough decision to make, and I think they're going to go for it, and I completely agree. If you get this first down, this could be huge in whether getting points on the board or just controlling this clock. And at the same time, say you don't convert, it's not like the Tigers are starting deep in your territory. They'll be starting from around that 32-yard line. And when it comes to high school football and going for it on 4th down, this is pretty much your sweet spot. But we'll get a timeout here from Pendleton Heights, so we will take a quick break with them. 8-0 is our score, 7 minutes, 14 to play in the 4th. Pendleton Heights lead. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEE.
At Pendleton Heights, radio is a huge part of our lives. From programming to social media to podcast to sports, our student-run radio station is dedicated to informing and entertaining everyone in and around our campus. We're with you every step of the day. Whether it be in your car, in class, at lunch, or at work, we're here to provide you with the local news and the best songs. Experience the full impact of radio today by tuning in to 91.7 WEEM. To learn more, go to our website at 917weem.org. We're here for our community.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in, Pendleton Heights currently with the lead against the Lebanon Tigers here late in this one. 7:14 left to play in the 4th. For Pendleton Heights, you're going to go for it here. 4th and 4. You're on the Tigers' 32-yard line. Huge play upcoming for the Arabians. Wilson be lined up here. Shotgun formation has 2 running backs behind him. 2 wide receivers to the left. 1 in motion. He's going to be coming to the right side. Before even the snap, we're going to get a penalty marker. Looks like a false start here from Pendleton Heights, and that will be very unfortunate here. It's going to put your 4th down situation even tougher. And it looks like they're going to be bringing out the punting unit, maybe Coach Richmond considering it. So it'll be 4th and 9. But yeah, looks like Pendleton Heights will at least be taking off the offense. Maybe not. Yeah, scratch that. It looks like Coach Richmond signaling stay on that field, and let's see if they can get it. So Coach Richmond was definitely heavily considering that. Wes Kupfer was on the field getting ready for the punt, but at the last second, Coach Richmond waved it off, and Here comes the timeout by Pendleton Heights. Coach Richmond not happy at all with what he saw on that setup there. So with another timeout for Pendleton Heights, we'll take another break. 8-0 is our score. 7:13 to play on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
This is your captain.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. Just joining us, Pendleton Heights leading the Lebanon Tigers 8-0 here, 7:13 to play in the fourth and final quarter. Coach Richmond was considering if you wanted to go for it there on 4th and 9. And after a timeout, after Coach Richmond did not like the play set up, if they're about to go for it, he will now send on the punt team to punt this thing away. And it looks like they might get this at the 1-yard line. And sure enough, it might be close. Is it a touchback or did they pin him down at the 1 is the question. And we get a flag thrown here from the ref. Not sure exactly what that's going to be about. Or it might be a safety. Yeah, sure enough, yeah. Scratch this. If Lebanon touched the ball and it went into the end zone, that's a free ball. And the Arabians might have jumped on that football. That could be a touchdown. This might have been a touchdown here, folks. Again, refs talking it over there right next to the end zone. But if that is true, a huge play and yet another mental mistake by the Tigers.
Looked like near the deep right side of the end zone, a Tiger did touch the ball, even with his foot, but I mean, that still counts. And it looks like some Arabian did jump on that ball to get it in the end zone for another touchdown for the Arabians.
Yeah, so again, breaking this down to anyone who's confused, it was a punt by Pendleton Heights, and if that ball goes into the end zone, and if a Lebanon Tiger touches the ball before it goes to the end zone, that's a free ball, and if you jump on it, that's a touchdown. At first, I thought the coaches and players were just arguing it about being whether it was a touchback or whether it was a down at the 1, pinned at the 1. And then I saw some Arabian players from the sidelines signaling a touchback or a safety, but it looks like sure enough that they're going to be saying this is going to be a touchdown. At least that's what the PA called. Again, the refs will be talking it over a bit. It looks like a ref will come over to the Arabian sideline, explain to Coach Richmond what exactly they're going to get the call here.
Yeah, so no points yet on the scoreboard, but definitely some potential to add more for the Arabians.
Yeah, and say this was a touchdown here. We were talking about how big a touchdown would be at this point in the game. Yeah. Of course, you're down by a possession, that's one thing, but if you're down by 2 possessions with under 10 minutes to play, it's definitely, I think at that point you could call it a comeback. And it looks like we're going to be hearing some boos here, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're actually going to call this thing either a touchback or redo 4th. Again, still being heavily talked about by most of the refs and players looking around quite confused. And yeah, they're going to give it to him. Touchdown. Arabian sidelines explodes, and just like that, Pendleton Heights goes up. Now 14-0 as the extra point unit will take the field to try to kick this thing in.
Yeah, I mean, with the lead being 14-0, only 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and for Lebanon to score twice seems unlikely, but, you know, never doubt anything could happen.
So now, as I was just mentioning, extra point unit for the Arabians will be taking the field. Dominic Apo leading them out. Of course, you look back to that first extra point for Pendleton Heights. It was a fake. Reese Reddington got it on the pass, threw it into the back of the end zone for that 2-point conversion. Don't think we'll be seeing that the same here. Of course, going back-to-back fake extra points would be quite the bold move, but then again, Coach Richard's a bold guy, so you'll never know, but I'm sure we'll see a kick here from Dom. But It looked really, for Pendleton Heights on that drive, just quickly recapping that. Pendleton Heights had it at 4th and 4. Coach Richmond sent out the offense to go for it, but then after a penalty for a false start, it pushed it back to 4th and 9. Then again, Richmond said, go out there, try it. But Richmond didn't like how the play was set up. He called a timeout, then sent on the punting unit, and I'm sure he's glad he did, because after the punt, Lebanon Tigers touched it. The ball rolled into the back of the end zone. Then a Pendleton Heights football player jumped on the ball, and that'll count as a touchdown. And there you got a Dominic Apo extra point as you see hear the PA going. That is the first Dom bomb of the season, as that is going to be right through the uprights. It's good, and Pendleton Heights extends their lead 15-0. Now, of course, there's a lot of smiles on the sidelines, but the game is not over yet. Still 7 minutes, 6 seconds to play, and that is plenty of time for at least 2 drives for Lebanon if they hurry up on this next drive. And, I mean, Lebanon, sure, they've been struggling on offense this entire game, but as soon as you get on your heels and as soon as you kind of lay off, Lebanon Tigers will jump at you, and they can score pretty quick. We know that for sure. So for Pendleton Heights defense, you got to dial in. This game is far from over.
Yeah, but first attempt there for the kicker, Dominic Apo. The score is 15-0, so for the Tigers, they would have to score twice plus an extra point to even tie this game back up.
Yeah, but you look at Dominic Apo last year, he was perfect on PATs, was 31 for 31. As well, it was 3 for 3 from the field goal. And as I was mentioning earlier, Dom has been the Arabians' kicker for the first, for all 3 of his seasons as an Arabian. And of course, now entering a senior year, he will return as the kicker. And I'm sure, I mean, just having a good kicker like that can be definitely just understated how important and how crucial that can be, especially a consistent guy like Dom. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, all the way back to his sophomore career, I think he's only missed 1 PAT, that coming from his sophomore year. But by the way, on that last punt, we did have an unnecessary roughness for Pendleton Heights, so they're going to be kicking off here from their own 25-yard line. So pretty deep kickoff here for Dominic Apo. He got the extra point. Now let's see if he can pull off another huge play for Pendleton Heights and maybe launch this thing back pretty far. But maybe not. It looks like once again Dominic Apo will be trying to go that and might have a possible onside kick recovery here. Dominic Apo, he likes to kick kind of short, a high kick over to that right side. He pretty much mastered it for the chance of the onside recovery, and sure enough, that ball had a good bounce, but unfortunately for the Arabians, a Tiger jumped on it before any Pendleton Heights player could, so Lebanon Tigers will take over here 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line, their own 39.
Yeah, it looks like a Lebanon player did set up a block for the person receiving. He set up that block right near around the 45-yard line, and it was returned close to the 38, maybe 39, but it is Lebanon's ball.
But Weem Weekly is a podcast dedicated to give you more of what's going on around the Arabian nations. Sam Duffer, Ethan Lincoln, and Brooklyn Chubb will give you the latest PHHS and the South Madison Community School Corporation. Find it anytime at 917weem.org or wherever podcasts can be found. But now Tigers back on offense here, 1st and 10, as they'll line up in the shotgun formation. Folden here will hand it off to Shockley once again. Shockley changes his side of the field. He's got a hole on the right side, and he'll walk his way out of bounds, but not after a very solid carry of over 15 yards. Now going to be down there on the, looks like, 44-yard line, the Arabians' 44-yard line, now getting inside Pendleton Heights territory.
Looks like they did have a flip there on that run. The run started off, first of all, with 3 running backs near the quarterback, started off near the left side and then flipped up to the right, Dawson, as you were saying, for a big gain of almost 15.
1st and 10 here. Folden will get it, fire over there to the right side. It looks like pass will be complete here off of a very, very short route there. That was Caden Lark on the reception, but looks like that might be a gain of about a yard, if anything. Again, it was a very quick throw there.
And Caden Lark, coming into this game, he did have 11 touchdowns just on his career so far. We have yet to see any so far. But as he is their number one receiver, I mean, they are off to a slow start on offense, but we haven't seen much from him individually.
And it looks like we got another unsportsmanlike conduct, this time on the Lebanon Tigers, so this will push them back pretty far, back on their side of the field. Now it looks like they're going to be on the, again, their own 41-yard line, second and, I think it's going to be counted as a 2nd and 20 now after the 10-yard penalty.
Second down.
Yeah, it looks like a little scuffle happened between maybe a receiver on Lebanon and Dontrez Braxton, number 3, our cornerback for the Arabians. They did eventually meet in the middle, give a little fist pump, but still a flag thrown.
2nd and 25 now, Folden will look to throw here, trips out left, he's in trouble, looks around, gonna throw it on the run as he's being hit, a tough throw to make, and he doesn't get it there. Overthrew his target, Cade Spanhook. So that'll be an incompletion. Brings up the 3rd and very, very long, 3rd and 25 to be specific here on the Tigers 41.
Jackson Folden on the night hasn't seen much yards-wise, throwing, but it is his first varsity start for the Lebanon Tigers in his junior year. Last year he did go 1-for-1 throwing for 7 yards, but like I was saying, this is his first year officially starting for Lebanon.
So now 3rd and 25. Folden takes the snap, rolls out to his left, fires across his body, and it looks like, scratch that, he didn't even get the ball off. That's going to be a sack. Sacked by the Arabians as he's brought down even further in Tiger territory. That is, Dresden Roberts on the sack. The Arabians' first sack of the season, and now Lebanon Tigers met with a 4th and probably the longest they've seen in quite a while, 4th and about 35 or so.
Yeah, it looks like he did fake throw that pass. Maybe saw something downfield, but didn't like it so much. Tried to run out to the right side, but Dawson, as you were saying, Dresden Roberts with the sack. We've seen him a lot tonight, him being a senior. He's been a part of this offense and defense for a little while.
Now 4th and 32. Folden, it looks like will stay on. We could be seeing a punt here, but I don't know. It looks like they will be going for it. Sure enough, fires deep downfield, and it is batted down, incomplete. Nice job by Clint Miller reading the quarterback's eyes, getting over to the receiver, knocking down that pass, and with that, Pendleton Heights will start back on offense now in Tiger territory on the 34 after a failed 4th down conversion by the Tigers.
Yeah, but with only 5 minutes remaining in this game, the Tigers almost did have to go for that on 4th down, kind of a live with, die with situation, but unfortunately the Arabians do gain the ball in their possession on the Tigers' 38-yard line.
So now 1st and 10 for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Isaac Wilson will line up in shotgun, trips out to his left with a receiver out to his right. Looks like he'll hand it off here to his running back. Looks like that'll be Keaton Jones on the carry there.
Number 6, Keaton Jones.
Keaton Jones, the junior. We've seen him a couple times, definitely has some speed on him. Has maybe 4 or 5 rushing attempts so far. And as he broke through that first tackle, he does get 5 or so yards there on that run attempt.
2nd and 5 now after the 5-yard carry on 1st down from the junior Keaton Jones. Ball on the Tigers' 29-yard line as Isaac Wilson and company take formation here. Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his left and 2 to his right with Bo Surface behind him. Looks like Wilson will give it off to Bo Surface for a run up the middle. Surface stays on his feet after a couple of hits, but is finally brought down. But not before, I think he's just barely short of that 1st down. Nope, scratch that. It looks like he did break that 1st down marker. So sure enough, that'll be a new set of down for Pendleton Heights. Ball now on the 29 after that solid carry there from Bo Surface.
Yeah, and as we see Keaton Jones going back in on that last run, he did get above the marker, but he came down with the ball just a little bit beforehand, but he did make progress upfield, so that's where the ball will start on this play.
15-0 is our score. Pendletonites with the lead. 3:30 left to play in the fourth and final quarter. Isaac Wilson shotgun here on 1st and 10. Trips out to his right. One wide receiver to his left, as well as Bo Surface to the left of him. Looks like he will hand it off here. Looks like a very solid game there. Scratch that was Keaton Jones, and that's running back, and he'll get the ball there for the 4-yard carry on second, excuse me. So brings up the 3rd and medium.
Yeah, looks like after that play, number 9, Bo Surface, was on the sideline holding his stomach. Maybe he got the breath knocked out of him. He did break a tackle on that last run he had, so definitely a possibility.
Once again, score 15-0 here. 3:13 left to play in the fourth. But bring our music in Arabian Sports everywhere you go. You can go and do that by downloading our new app on your phone. It's called 91.7 WEEM. Whether you are on the run, in your car, or at work, listen to us live. Go to the App Store today and download our app on your Android or iPhone for free. Listen today here on 91.7 WEEM. Of course, you look here, Aiden, overall at the Pendleton Heights and where they're at right now. You're leading 15-0 with 3:13. Your odds, I would say, are pretty high, but of course, job's not completely finished. I mean, you would say it'd be quite the extreme comeback, but I think if you just control this ball, you keep it on the ground game, keep the rock going, hopefully you can walk away with a win here, and maybe another score wouldn't count just for good measure.
Yeah, and just up here from the media box, looking over at the opposite side of the field, we do see some Lebanon fans, exiting the stands with only 3 minutes remaining, and when you're down 15 points, it will be quite hard to come back from that type of lead.
Here we got a carry here to the left side on the outside. Once again, that's Keaton Jones. Won't get far, though. Brings up the 3rd and long now.
As I was mentioning earlier, number 9, the senior Bo Surface, was on the sideline earlier, possibly out of breath, but I am expecting to see Keaton Jones for the rest of the game here at that running back position with only 3 minutes left.
Once again, Pendleton Heights, looks like they're going to be looking over here trying to get their play. But if you're just tuning in, current score 15-0, 3:07 left to play on this evening's game. But look ahead for Pendleton Heights on the schedule. Next week, they'll be traveling over to their backyard rivals in the Anderson Indians. That'll be, again, that's next Friday. Kickoff at 7 o'clock for that one. Then following that game, they'll be back at home here against the Newcastle Trojans. That'll be September 1st. Again, kickoff 7 o'clock. That'll be their first conference game of the season. Then following that, you got Greenfield Central here at home, New Pal, and then Mount Vernon on the road. Delta here at home for homecoming. Then at Yorktown, then you finish off the year on the road against Shelbyville. At least you finish off your regular season, I should say.
But pregame, Dawson, you were saying that the Lebanon Tigers did beat us last year in our first game of the season, and it looks like, for the most part, we will get the win here on this one.
Isaac Wilson looks like will take a shot deep into the end zone on that left side of the field. Had a chance there. Receiver was in position, but a nice break up there by the Lebanon secondary.
Yeah, only one man covering him there on the left side. He did get to the ball as soon as it went up in the air. So,
and you look ahead for the Lebanon Tigers. Their next game will be at home against the Zionsville Eagles, then at Danville against the Warriors. Then they'll be back at home against the North Montgomery Charging Chargers. Then they'll be on the road against Frankfort, and then Tri-West Hendricks Bruins. And then back at home for Crawfordsville, and then Southmont, and then finish off the season at West Boone. But here, 4th and 10. It looks like Pendletonites will stay out on the field. Isaac Wilson will look around. Fires to the end zone. Was it caught? No, it wasn't. He had a hand on it. It would have been quite the catch if he pulled it in. But he couldn't quite get it. That was Nick Trout, the target, but with that incompletion, turnover on downs, Lebanon will take over here on their own 21-yard line, trailing 15-0. There's 3 minutes left for Lebanon. I mean, I think your thought process right now is you just got to be fast-paced, get into that end zone as fast as you can, and then hope there's enough time to either get the onside kick or give it to Pendletonites and get it right back.
I mean, yeah, defensively, they have let up in the second half, allowing all the points that have been scored so far for Pendleton. But we know they're capable because they did shut us out in the first half.
Shotgun for Fulton. Looks like he will want to throw here. Looks like that'll be incomplete. They're on first down, so 2nd and 10 following. Once again, they'll be on their own 21.
Pass knocked down by number 76, Bryant Davis.
That was Bryant Davis with the knockdown on the pass.
Down, Lebanon.
Now 2nd down for Lebanon here. Again, I was just mentioning, got to be thinking of a fast-paced game plan here for Fulton and company. But here on 2nd and 10 from their own 21, Fulton shotgun, trips out to the left, one running back out right. Fulton will look to throw. He's in trouble, scrambles to the outside, throws as he's hit. Did the receiver pull it in? And it looks like he did not. That ball might have just popped out there on the last second, and sure enough, incomplete pass. Intended for Sam Kiker, but incomplete. Will bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and 10 to be specific. 15-0, Pendletonites lead if you're just tuning in. 2:40 left to play in the 4th. Arabian fans getting on their feet here, 3rd and 10. Trying to get loud, make some noise, and hopefully get one step closer to victory.
As the Lebanon Tigers do need a score here in this situation. I wouldn't be surprised if they did target receiver Caden Lark. We know he's their number 1 option.
Fulton will look to throw, and he has his man wide open. He's hit hard just past that 40-yard line, but he'll hold on to that football. Nice throw there. That was Pollock with the completion. Clint Miller will get the tackle, but it'll be enough for a first down and a bit more. Ball now on the Tigers' 43, Fulton will look to throw once again. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Sam Kiker had it in his hands, but just couldn't pull it down. So that's an incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, definitely one of the deeper passes we've seen so far in this game. Obviously, with the game being pretty far out of distance and little time on the clock, you would want to go big or go home here.
15-0, Pendletonites lead, 2nd and 10. Lebanon Tigers with the ball on the 43-yard line. Fulton and company taking formation. You got 2 wide receivers out left, 2 out right, and then a running back behind him.
We see senior Trey Rise looking in at the quarterback.
Fires over the middle, and it looks like that one is just incomplete. Just a bit of an inaccurate throw. That one targeted to Lark. But again, a bit of a misthrow there, an incomplete pass. That'll bring up the 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. And a huge play for Pendletonites here, of course, on Lebanon's last 3rd down. They had a nice completion over the middle, so of course, Tigers will be hoping to recreate that. Pendletonites hoping to not let that happen again. And on these 3rd downs, you got to remember to watch the long ball. Sometimes you'll be focused too much on defending that first down marker, that a route deep downfield to a sneak passer. Fountain will struggle with the snap, recovers, looks downfield, nearly has his man just a bit out of reach. Incomplete pass there. I was just mentioning you got to watch out for the long ball in these 3rd downs, and sure enough, Fulton shot for the stars, but just quite missed it. So after the incomplete pass, brings up 4th and 10, and considering on the Tigers' previous drive, they went for it on 4th and 32, I'm sure it's pretty much guaranteed they'll go for it here on 4th and 10.
Yeah, with almost under 2 minutes remaining here in this game, it's almost you need a score now, or honestly, Arabians might get this win.
Fulton will look to throw. He's in trouble, and he is brought down. That'll be a sack, and with that, a turnover on downs. Pendleton Heights will take it over. Dresden Roberts with yet another sack. What a night for Dresden Roberts. He's getting it done on both sides of the ball. He's getting it done on the running back side of things. That'll be his second sack of the night on top of it. And with that, Pendleton Heights will take the field for hopefully, and maybe you could say most likely, their last time tonight. 2:08 left to play. If they play this right, they can probably run this clock out, but again, it's never over till it's over, and we've seen comebacks crazier than this, so you got to stay in your A game.
Yeah, I think with under 2 minutes, the Arabians are going to play safe. Dawson, as you were saying, there still is time for a comeback, especially when you keep the ball in your possession.
So we're going to hand off here to Keaton Jones. That'll be a gain of about 2 yards, brings up 2nd and 8. Looks like we got quick substitution here on the O-line. Zach Jacobs, the senior, will be subbing in. For it looks like that's Peyton Pollock coming out. Look at Peyton Pollock. Interviewed him last Saturday, about a week ago, in the coach's show, and he made a transition last year. He was a majority a defensive line player. He played a lot of end, and then this offseason they asked him to move over on that offensive side of the ball. He plays a lot of that guard. He's the starting right guard. He's been playing for the entire game here this evening, and of course a position change can be rough, but Peyton, in that interview, he said he's taken it in the best way possible, and he's happy to help the team in any way he can. He's definitely doing that. I mean, he's already a great player, but even at that guard spot, he still proves to be a essential senior here for the Arabians.
Yeah, Dawson, as you were saying, he is a senior, so I'm sure being with the program for those 4 years, I'm sure you would do anything, to help your team win, and that's exactly what he's doing by offering to change his position. Now on the offensive side, protecting his quarterback, also junior Isaac Wilson.
Taking a look here quickly at some of the other scores for the evening. New Pal Westfield finished up. Westfield walked away with that win, 34-14 as the final score over there. So New Pal's going to start with a loss on the win column for, I'm sure, the first time in quite a while. Shelbyville is still taking care of Greensburg, now leading 39-14 in the fourth quarter. So I'm sure that one will be wrapped up here. But it looks like Pendleton Heights will have a carry here on a second down. Ty Williamson will get credited with the tackle, but a solid carry there on second will leave Pendleton Heights with a 3rd and a 3, a gain of 6th. And then you look at the Delta game, they walked away from that one. At the half, Delta and Muncie Central was pretty close. I think they were within a score, but here in this second half, Delta been putting on the fireworks, now leading Muncie Central 34-7 in the third quarter.
Yeah, but correction, Isaac Wilson is a senior. Yeah. And along with all the other seniors on this team, there is plentiful, definitely a handful. It is a good way to start off your senior season, which I would say by now is guaranteed a win with just over a minute left to play.
Here on 3rd and 3, it looks like we're going to get a keeper here from Colton Frank to that left side of the field, and he is brought down pretty tough there by Mason Crew. Last year had 67 tackles with this squad, is the leading returner, or the leading tackle, or last year from the returning players. We got 15-0 here with now just under a minute to play, and I'm sure with this play here, we might be seeing the last play, maybe not, though. Because then again, if they don't convert here in fourth, the clock will stop, so we might see Lebanon get back on the field, but again, with now under 30 seconds to play, this one pretty much all wrapped up. But shotgun, looks like that will remain Colton Frank, if I am correct in that game. Looks like we might get a penalty marker here. Looks like that might be there. Yeah, it's going to be on